What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? The last video that I did on Isaiah Harris, it was kind of like one of those videos I made, and I just to kind of wrap it up until the trial starts. But a lot of people had a lot to say about it. I didn't expect it to blow up afterwards because the day that I did it only had 1,500 views, but now it's over 30,000. And a lot of people, and I was reading the comments, and a lot of people had a lot to say. So I just kind of want to go over some of the comments that I got and just my thought process behind Isaiah Harris and what I believe what happened. Let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And yes, I'm your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling? Let me say what's up to the people. What's up, Tyrannese? Thank you for being here. What's up, Beautiful? And thank you for the membership as well, too. So we got Beautiful and we got Bonnie Bella. Thank you guys for becoming members. I appreciate that. Shout out to Nate. What's up, Nate? How you doing? What's up, Lisa? What's up, Jesus is Life? What's up, Eleni? What's up, Queen B More? I seen Jackie in here. Is Jackie still here? Yes, I see Jackie now. What's up, Shells? What's up, Daryl? What's up, Mary D? What's up, Denitria? Thank you for holding it down for the mods. I appreciate that. What's up, everybody coming in the room? Grown Woman, I see you too as well. All right. So, as I said before, the last video, I didn't expect it to blow up the way it did. And it still shows that there's people wanting to know what happened to Naziah. Now, of course, I believe we're going to get more answers when the trial starts in March. But for now, it's still speculative on what actually happened. And like I said last week, everything kind of came to an end as far as people looking into this on the ground, as far as Roxy, the cousin, and then you have Marc from 7 Mile Radio. They kind of told us like, hey, we're not like, leave it alone. There's no reason to search anymore. If you catch my drift, you ain't got to look for her no more. And that kind of let us know like, all right, well, shit, I guess it's over. Now, I will say this. In the back of my mind, I honestly feel in my heart like she's not alive anymore. That's how I honestly feel. I feel that way. But again, a lot of people won't have closure. A lot of people won't have peace until we know that for a fact. Until we know that for a fact. What's up, Tree? What's up, Dina? Until we know for a fact, like this woman or this little girl, let me not say woman, this little girl is found, whether she's alive or not, nobody's going to have any peace. With that being said, there's also the fact that Jarvis was not arrested until September. And mind you, he wasn't initially took into jail because of Naziah Harris. It's because while they were doing the investigation, they found out that he essayed the 4-year-old and then a 13-year-old at the time. So a 4-year-old and a 13-year-old from years ago. Remember, that's why he actually went to jail. And then while he was in jail, they charged him for Naziah Harris. A lot of people didn't put 2 and 2 together. It wasn't initially for Naziah Harris while he went to jail. It was because while they were doing the investigation, the two girls, and then later on they charged him with Naziah Harris. So then that even got me thinking like, well, shit, would he even be in jail? Like, and I hate to put this out there, but would he even be in jail right now if it wasn't for those two the two girls that came forward, one's 20 now and the other one's 13 now. But if it wasn't for them, would he even be charged? Would he even be in jail? Because again, they don't have a body. The only thing that they were able to find was article of clothing, the black jacket and the pink jumpsuit. Remember? And now on the pink jumpsuit, I know that they did say that they found a woman's DNA on it. A female's DNA is the exact word. A female DNA. But what I don't know is that on the pink jumpsuit, if they found blood. I don't remember that during the testimony if they actually said, like, yeah, we found blood. Also, because of that whole time, we're giving it 9 months basically. Because January she went missing in 2024, right? And then they didn't arrest him until September 2024. So that whole time while he was out, no telling what could have happened. Because something else I want to know, has he ever left Detroit? Like, as far as their records, could they tell that he left Detroit? That was one of the things that I didn't really hear during the testimony, if he had ever left Detroit. Because a lot of the search teams been looking in ponds and areas in Detroit. I would figure within the 9 months, he probably left Detroit. And especially if he was borrowing cars from the different women that he was messing with, yeah, he was probably able to leave. The prosecutor said that he did leave Detroit. The jacket. Okay, the jacket. Okay, the jacket was. Okay, got you. Okay, thank you for that. Hey, Barbara, how you doing? I see you. What's up, Wanda? He's an obsessive. Yeah. And again, remember when Shannon was asked, like, why would you have him around? Why would you have somebody who you know is a PDF file around? And she was all like, oh, well, don't you believe in second chances? Don't you believe in forgive? Listen, everybody who has been talking seems so nonchalant. Nobody seems hurt. Nobody seems frustrated. Nobody seems angry. Well, I take that back. They do seem angry. They seem angry because they're being asked, not angry because they're upset with the situation. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Put a 1 if you get what I'm saying. They're more upset that they're being questioned than because Naziah is missing. It's two different things. Yes, there's a lack of media coverage. Exactly. What's up, Ronnie? What's up, Purely Plush? Yeah. And and this is a situation where I would be all like, well, one, yes, I'm not denying there is a lack of media attention on this. I'm not denying that, right? But don't forget that initially they had set this up to where, oh, she probably ran away from home. They set it up for her to be a runaway, talking about the grandma, Annette. She set it up to initially be she ran away. And even Shannon was telling people that, oh, she must have ran away with some boyfriend. So they made it seem like she was just a runaway rather than, oh, wait, she's missing. She's gone. Somebody has gotten her. So it was already played up to be she was just a runaway. And if you know anything about history and statistics, you would know whenever a black child is missing, they automatically assume it's a runaway. They don't take it like, the white child, the white hair, blonde, blue eyes, like, oh, that's somebody who's missing. No, when it comes to black children that go missing, they're looked at as runaways. They do not see them as, somebody who's actually missing. Oh, they just ran away from home. What's up, Ronnie? I see a few of y'all. Grandma Joy, hello, hello, hello. I'm just catching up. A lot of y'all have been telling, and Nana, I'm not calling you out. I'm not disrespecting you at all. A lot of y'all have recommended me watching different psychics and stuff like that. The reason why I have not is not because I don't believe or anything like that. It's just that it's kind of just like me giving you my perspective. I believe that the tarot card readers are just giving their perspective or how they feel with energy and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't want to take it to be true. Just like, and I'm not comparing the person that you said in the chat, but Sloan Bella. A lot of people believe everything Sloan Bella says. It's not. Sloan Bella has been sued because she lied. I want to let y'all know that. And maybe because Sloan Bell is a white lady, y'all believe her more than anybody else, but y'all got to be careful with that. Just be careful. That's the only thing I can tell you. And I'm not telling you guys not to watch anybody who, just when it comes to certain cases, I'm just all like, take it with a grain of salt. Purely, you knew about that? Yeah. Sloan Bella was sued for lying. So don't be believing everything be careful with that one. And that one, I don't mind putting the name on it because she always got something to say about black folks, but not. Let me shut up. Let's go back to Naziah. Some comments that I have gotten, and I feel bad because I didn't play this video because it was like over 2 hours, but I did watch most of it. There was an interview. Let me pull it up real quick. An interview with two of Naziah's relatives. One being Janelle, and the other one being Jarnell, and the other one being Kawana. And they were two of the relatives who had been calling about what was going on with Naziah. They were really the first ones to kind of blow the whistle. And then Roxy, as I understand, lived in Texas, and then she moved back to Detroit. Correct me if that's wrong. I know she didn't live in Detroit. She moved back from somewhere. It might not have been Texas, but that's what I understand. Like after everything went down, then Roxy moved back out here. And I'm not saying Roxy wasn't important, but these two were kind of on the ground before anybody else. That's what I'm saying. Let me play a little bit of this because, like I said, I'm not going to play the whole thing. Please check out what are their names. I believe it's Community. Yeah, Community Advocate Network. That's what their names are. Community Advocate Network. Okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
And I think his oldest daughter is around the age of 26, 27. He's my age. He's 42.
Yeah. Because even the judge said it in her ruling that he had 13 children. And I think it came from that interrogation he did with the detectives. And I guess maybe he only claims 13 of them.
That's his snooky number. He says that all the time.
Oh, yeah. I thought I remembered hearing the number 20. But as far as that is concerned, he has other children with underage
You're talking
girls.
about Jarvis.
From what I understand,
with the children he already has, right?
Yeah, from what I understand, his older children were all with girls in their teens, and he was in his 20s.
Yeah.
And then along the time when Shannon was dating him, and they was going back and forth with each other, there was a young lady who was like 18 who said that her child was his. I don't know whatever came along with that, but yeah, it's possibly she's one of the young ladies that's listed on the friend of the court registry.
So do you think, I guess I might, Deborah, please don't let me get ahead of myself, but I have to ask this question. Did Nazia, did she ever show or talk or say anything to anybody? I mean, any hints,
Yes, she
the
did.
world wants to know. I mean, this
Yes,
is
she
a
did.
young 13-year-old child, and from my understanding, this took place a year ago.
She told.
Today, correct?
No,
She
she
did
told.
tell.
It all started, my issue, me and Shannon were thick as thieves. I love the children. I would go around, went to Disney World, we traveled together. Then she called me and told me that it was a birthday party in February of 2022 for her second daughter's birthday.
Okay, thank you.
And most of the children, pretty much all the children were at the house, the grandchildren. There was one little girl who.
See, this is why I wanted to play this part, because she was all like, no, Nazia did say something. And don't forget, during the testimony, we found out that Nazia had went to the school counselor, but the counselor wasn't there, and then they didn't have a substitute counselor. The day that she went missing, she wanted to talk to a counselor.
Who was another, Annette's other sister's daughter was there. Now, this child had never been around Jarvis alone before. Or I think she might have been at the birthday party or something, adult birthday party, but it was at a hall. But she was at Shannon's home, and this young lady was so afraid. Shannon's telling me this. She ran upstairs, frantic and afraid and scared, and wanted to go home and wanted to call her mother because Jarvis touched her inappropriately while she was in the basement playing with the puppy.
See?
While this little group, now Jarvis was on the game. He wasn't thinking about going up there with Shannon or nothing. Shannon says all of a sudden, while she's up there, she's trying to calm this little girl down and talk to her. Jarvis comes and knocks on the door and says, "What's wrong with her?" And I said, "Shannon, why are you calling me? Is he dead or is he in jail?" No, he left. What you mean he left? Call the police. Let them know where he's going, what car he's in.
Right.
Well, I'm about to take her home, then I'm going to call my mama. What? So I called her back like maybe 30 minutes later. Like, did you call the police? No, my mama said bring the kids home tomorrow morning. She going to talk to them. I'm like, no, y'all don't need to talk to them. You need to contact the police. She did not contact the police.
So already knew what she already knew what was going on, but she didn't do anything about it. Talking about Shannon, the auntie. She knew.
I found out later the police were never contacted. The next day when I called Shannon, I talked to her. She said, my mama talked to them and said the kids ended up telling us they lied. They was mad because he wouldn't give them no money. So I called Annette and I said, Annette, are you guys going to call the police? She said, yes, we're handling. I'm going to call the police. So I left it alone. Like, she going to call the police. Shannon assured me that the police had been called. They were involved. There was an investigation going on, all of this. This was in February 22. Well, in April of 22, I called Shannon in a lie. The police were never called.
Mind you, she's saying in 22. This was 2 years before Nazia went missing. This was in 22.
The children were not receiving counseling. Nothing had happened. So I went to the Clinton Township Police and I told them that I wanted to make a report. They told me I couldn't make a report because I didn't have enough information about the child who actually accused him of the sexual abuse. I said, but the other children also accused him of sexual abuse. They said, well, they didn't happen that night. And I'm like, she said, it would probably be best for you to call CPS. So I called CPS and I told Shannon I called CPS. I said, if y'all didn't call, I told you to call the police. I told you to get the kids help. You didn't do it, so I'm calling CPS.
And that's why CPS needs to be investigated as well, too.
Yes, I'm not only you, but I'm calling them on your mama, too. Because it happens, whatever's happening at your house is most likely happening at your mother's house. They never called. And then that's when Kiwana got involved. I didn't, my husband knew what was going on. and a few other people who knew Shannon because she had told them stories.
Mhm.
But this is how Kiwana got involved. So I'll let Kiwana tell what happened on her end.
So then I end up going over there to drop off Naziah some clothing. And once I got there, Shannon pulled me to the side and said, I gotta tell you something. And I go, okay, what's going on, little cuz? And she said, that Janelle and called protective services on me and lied and said that Jarvis was doing something to the kids. I said, what? What do you mean she called protective services to say Jarvis was doing something to the kids? How would that come about? So that's when she went to tell me, it was a party, and she explained that what happened at the party, and that they end up questioning children, and her daughter, along with Naziah, along with my other little cousin, which I've never met, had expressed to her that Jarvis offered them monies to do things.
It's just hard hearing these things. But remember how they had a lock on the refrigerator? I bet you anything Jarvis was offering those girls money to, of course, do things. And then they would get that money to be able to go out and buy food or whatever they wanted. It was almost like a quote unquote chore. Because that lock on the refrigerator makes no sense. You said the kids had access to the refrigerator. Why would you be putting a lock on it?
Inappropriately. She said, however, she found later on that her daughter was lying. And I said, Shannon, kids don't lie about stuff like that. But a child not gonna come and tell that something like that happened and just be lying. You need to further investigate. No, that Janelle just trying to start some stuff. I said, no, I don't feel like she trying to start no stuff. I feel like she care and concerned about what's going on in the household as far as the children. This is outside of you and her relationship. This is about looking out for the children. And so we began to go back and forth. And I became, what she like to call it, the op, being as though now I'm taking up for the kids. So I contacted Janelle and said, what's going on? Because we hadn't talked for a little while. And I said, explain to her what I had heard and what Shannon had.
Remember when I said the thing, and a lot of you guys had commented afterwards and agreed with me. I know some of y'all were a little shaky, didn't know what I meant. Sometimes when you're in a family, right? You're not actually a part of the family. Yes, by blood, you are family, but you're not a part of the clique or the group. Yes, just like friend groups, there are family that have cliques and groups and crews. And sometimes you're not with those cliques or groups or the crews, right? You're literally just a part of the family by blood, but you're not really family. And there's family that will let you know that, hey, you're not a part of us. We are our own thing. Yeah, we might be blood, but we don't really know you like that. I remember when I said it, people didn't really understand it, but no, there's family that will treat you like that. Like we're over here, you over there, you one of them. Sometimes they segregate you by last name. Like, for example, I'm the only one with my mom's side of the family that has my last name. So automatically I fit in with my dad because I have his last name, and I share a last name compared to the other side of my family. I don't share a last name with them. So easily I would be the black sheep. Y'all get what I'm saying? And so with Naziah, yes, in this sense, she did share a last name with, she got her mama last name, right? But they did not see Naziah as part of the family because her mom, listen, there was a meme that said, if your family hates your mama, just know they hate you too. So with that being said, we know Annette was all like, oh, we don't really talk to the mom, blah, blah, blah. if they hate your mama, they hate you too. I'm going to repeat that for a third time. If they hate your mama, that means they hate you too. Let's continue.
And saying, and she told me what happened and what transpired. So that's when I called Protective Services.
Could you tell me the length of time it was before either one of you called? Because it seemed like it was a long stretch before the police and Child Protective Services was notified.
It was the initial incident happened in February of 2022. I was told that the authorities were
Thank
involved.
you, Jackie.
When I found out that the authorities were not involved, Shannon was lying to me.
22 or 24?
22.
22.
Whoa. Okay.
So in April of 22, I figured out another incident happened where a child was doing some sexually inappropriate things. And I said, well, what's going on with the case? And isn't she in counseling? And you need to go to the police and take the phone. She sending pictures to somebody on Instagram. She had told somebody else. She tell people this stuff like it's nothing. Like it's the normal everyday thing. She told somebody who wouldn't even related her to this story, and they called me to tell me what she said. And then I called her to ask her about it. So that's when I called CPS in April when I found out she had lied to me.
April which year?
2022.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
it's crazy listening to this again, because remember I had listened to it, but I just never had shared it with you guys. But a lot of this stuff went down in 2022. So it already had been 2 years before Naziah even went missing that they were trying to help with this whole situation. And I have a feel, because I know some people are going to ask me about interviewing like the family and stuff like that. I don't think at this time, one, they're allowed to speak. And then two, I don't think they want to speak because of all the misinformation that people have put out there about what's going on with Naziah. They're probably turned off by it.
Then Kiwana called me. I don't even think it was like maybe 3-4 weeks later. Kiwana called. Other family members had already called and were calling when all of this was going on because I wasn't getting any response from CPS. The CPS worker that I talked to told me the children denied it. I said, so look at the adults. If the children are not going to tell you I said, would you take the children out of the household and question them? No. I'm like, because they're afraid to say anything because they're in
Jesus'
the Shannon in the net looking right in their face. Then I said, if the children are not going to tell it because they're afraid, then start looking into the adults. Well, we haven't found any credibility of the complaint.
Even with him in the house, been in prison.
She told me that he was not on parole and he could be in the house around children.
But he had been to prison for the same accusation. No, not accusation. He was.
Yeah, he was actually charged. So how would he? And he was allowed to be around children. Now, one thing, I don't know if it. I want to say if it's your children, I feel like you could be around and maybe they just didn't share that Naziah was there because Naziah, like I said, Naziah was the only one that stuck out because she was not his child, remember? And then, well, there are 2 other foster kids, right? But for the most part, it was Shannon kids and then Naziah.
Convicted and imprisoned. And for the same thing.
This is what troubles me. I made this complaint in April of 2022. Exactly. And there were several other complaints by myself, Kiwana, and other family members after that. This man had a CPS case basically stating the same thing in 2015 and 2018 from completely different families.
Yeah, sure did. And also
girlfriends.
Sure did. Sure did. And after I end up calling Protective Services, one of the children had began to contact me and express things that were going on in the house, right? Because, I talked regularly with the children, even when they tried to isolate me, I'm not going to say names of the children, but one of the eldest children would try to contact me, or contact me outside of their knowledge. It began them having to sneak and call me now because, they don't want us around. We get in their business. We're calling protective services. And so, I went on to.
And some of y'all might question, like, AT2, why are you asking whether or not they can be around their own children? Shouldn't you already know that? No, I don't look after PDF files and all that. I stay far away from them. Anybody that's been convicted of that, none of that is around me. I don't know anything about that. So that's why I have questions, damn it. Because I read the comments where y'all like, well, how don't y'all know this about how you supposed to register and blah, blah, blah. Look, well, nigga, I ain't one. That's why I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to say the N word, but like, I don't know anything about that. I've never been to jail before. I don't know how to collect call. Like, I don't know that shit. I'm sorry, I don't. And I'm not saying that you got to be a criminal to know, but if you're not around it, you don't know. And if I ask you guys and you're willing to answer it, I appreciate that. Because a lot of people, well, why don't you know this or that? Because I don't. I'm not around it to know. That's why.
Talk to workers, try to get custody, continue to call. I made calls not just in Wayne County, but again in Clinton Township. So there was calls, Clinton Township, Wayne County. The Clinton Township calls was against Shannon. Wayne County was against Auntie in that household. And then both stories were being told to both protective services, that city and in that city. And
yep,
we
did get a little bit of action. A little bit of action when it was another young man who was much older than Isaiah that she was acquainted with. And that's the reason why Annette had to move, is what I was told. She had to move away from that young man because Naziah was having an inappropriate relationship with him. And that's the reason why.
Is this the autistic?
This is crazy because it almost, the grandma moved, but I bet you anything they blamed it on Naziah. They blamed it on, that's why there's this push or this narrative that Naziah was quote unquote fast. Not blaming it on the adults and the older people. They're blaming it all on Naziah. And I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about Annette and Shannon. Because we've seen the messages where Shannon was talking about, oh, she probably out looking for D. And y'all know what I mean by D, right?
Guy.
Yes. And then I also was told that they told Shannon at this point that Jarvis could not come around the children.
Who told her that?
CPS.
Okay.
This is what I was told by someone. I don't know for sure, but this is what I was told by someone at CPS that Shannon, he was not supposed to be around the children at that point because I guess we had called so many times.
Right. Oh, yeah. I want to go back to something real quick when Lori was asking about if Naziah had said anything or that it would gave any type of inclination that anything was wrong. And I want to mention this from the court proceedings that have been going on this week when the teacher or substitute teacher testified that the last day was, I presume it was the last day that Naziah was in school. She came in her room. Apparently this particular sub had a rapport with Naziah. She would give her candy every day or something like that. And she would come in her room and talk to her. And the lady said that Naziah laid on the floor and said she needs to see a counselor.
Here we go.
But it so happened that the counselor never came in that day. And so, and of course we didn't see her anymore. So that was one thing. And then I wanted to ask you guys about this. If you were
now, a couple of things, because I still blame the school. No matter what, I still blame the school. But I will give the other side of the coin. Knowing how the school systems are and with who's in the White House right now who want to get rid of the Department of Education, knowing how underfunded the schools is, when that school counselor is out, they probably don't have a substitute school counselor. Now, with that being said, they definitely should have something to where there's somebody that comes, like there's another alternative that they have. Like there should be like maybe like a phone number set up with some kind of online or over the phone counseling when there's an emergency or somebody needs help. I still don't excuse that, but there should be some kind of alternative. But again, I will give the excuses like the school funding. They probably only have one counselor and that's it. Now, where I went to school, but again, it was in the suburbs, there was multiple school counselors. But where she's at, there's probably only one. And this was a elementary. Well, is it? Was she would have been in middle school, right?
Aware of this that I heard on one of the videos from another podcast. It said, okay, that Naziah was telling her classmates that she was planning to run away because she was pregnant. Had you guys heard anything about that?
Yeah, we heard so much. That was after she went missing. So yeah, we've heard that. We have heard every accusation, scam. Yeah, we heard that.
Okay. I wanted to clear that up, and then
she was 13.
Also, 13. Now I believe Kiwana, you pretty much grew up around Naziah's mom and being close to in the unit, and being in Naziah's life actively. Well, I guess both of you were in her life actively up until the cases being filed and whatever rift caused the family to.
So they were actually, very, very involved. Like they weren't just, oh, we only seen her once every blue moon. No, they're very involved. And even Jarnell had said, we went to Disney, her and Shannon were like best friends. So they were very close.
To, that broke down the family. So, can you talk about, Kiwana, how well, first of all, let's clarify for the public how long Jarvis has been around, because the information that is out there, only indicates that he started abusing Naziah back in as far back as 2022, but there's a question that it may have probably more than likely had gone on much longer. So let's establish for them, exactly how long, when did you all become aware that he was around, like when Shannon was dating him and all of that, those types of things?
And by the way, I forgot who channel it was, so please forgive me. But I did see somebody did have the paperwork to say that Shannon kids did get taken. Remember, I said I heard it, but I didn't want to say for sure it was until I had seen it. I did see a video, but I forgot who channel it was.
To give, to clarify. Basically, I want to get rid of some misinformation that's out there.
So go ahead.
No, good. Yeah, Kiwana.
So Jarvis have been around since Shannon was 16, right?
We didn't know about it until later, but after she had her daughter, he had been found out
March MB
during this whole ordeal that she had been acquainted with him since she was about 16.
Right. And we had no clue, not just that he was the age that he was, but no clue that he had a record,
Right. Yeah, but and I think that's
a record of being a pedophile. Let me say that.
Right. Yeah, because that's a lot of the thing is, where was the family? Oh, and the other thing is, let's clarify. And we don't have to go into extensive details about her mom, but can we please clarify, just a general idea of her mother and the father? We know that the father did pass away last year, but if you guys can share with us just a little bit, just to put that to rest, so that.
Hold on, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right here. But let me go ahead and share the link in the chat so you guys can watch the whole thing. Hold on. And again, shout out to the Community Advocate Network. Shout out to them. Okay, let me share it. Here is the link. So again, they were very protective over Jarvis, and I'm talking about Annette and Shannon. They were very protective over Jarvis. They knew what kind of guy he was. Listen, anytime a child tells you, because you got to remember, it wasn't just one child, it was all of them telling that Jarvis was doing X, Y, and Z, and they completely ignored it. Like, I don't give a whatever, or, oh, the kids were lying. And they would ask the kids in front of Jarvis, like, why would you do that? Of course, kids are going to be afraid to tell you the truth if somebody is there in your presence. Like, why didn't they weren't looking out for the kids at all. And honestly, to tell you the truth, they really just didn't care. Out of all the stuff that we're saying, the theme of what's going on with Neziah and everything else is that the family didn't care. Simple as that. They just didn't give a damn. The immediate family, right? They didn't care. No matter how bad or what the kids were telling them, the family calling CPS on them, they just didn't care. They did not give a damn. They did not protect those kids. None of them. Neziah got the brunt end of it because, again, like I said, they didn't see her as a part of the family, so she was disposable to them. But the rest of them, they simply didn't care. No telling. If Neziah didn't end up missing, I guarantee you Jarvis would have been continuing this for years to come. Because if it wasn't for her going missing, who's to know that the 13-year-old and the 4-year-old, we would even find out about that? Now, as I understand, this is the first time like anything has happened where somebody went missing that he was dealing with. But just even watching the testimony with the fiance and the girlfriend where he borrowed the car from, they were nonchalant. The only person that actually cried during their testimony was his sister. Remember? That one I didn't play for you guys. The only person that cried was his actual sister. Everybody else just looked like, nah, whatever. Hold on, let me pull it up here. Okay, I found it. This is Jarvis's sister right here. She's the only one that showed any kind of emotion. Everybody else is just all like, nah, whatever.
Can I just have 1 second, George?
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Ms. Butts, did you come to learn of the day that you had gone to Jarvis's shop by going through the locations on your phone?
Yes.
Okay. And that's the date that you don't remember off the top of your head right now, but it is revealed in your phone locations?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. 1 second. Let me get her find it.
See, you guys, she actually looks distraught. She's wiping her eyes. And mind you,
What is it that you went through your phone locations to determine the date?
Hold on. Mind you, the sister was the only one that was like, yeah, I seen her with him that day because she had to come by the shop. And so she seen Nazaya there. And so she feels guilty, like, damn, I possibly could have changed some kind of outcome. Mind you, she didn't know what was going on. The sister didn't. But just feeling that guilt, like, damn, I seen that girl. I seen her that day. And now she's gone. That's also why the sister is very upset.
I'm sorry, do you need a moment?
But the only one that showed emotion, the only one.
I believe February, I think like 24th or the 26th. I can't remember the exact day.
Okay, that's when you would have went through your phone to find those?
Yes.
Okay, and did you also go through that in your interview with Sergeant Jones?
Yes.
Okay. And did you give Sergeant Jones permission to look at your location data?
Yes.
Okay. And your phone kind of extraction in general? Like to go through your phone for the data?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Nothing else, Judge.
So you go to the shop where your brother works periodically, right?
From time to time, yes.
You've been there prior to the day we've been talking about today?
Yes.
A couple times at least?
Yes.
And you'd been back there after?
Yes.
But the day we've been talking about, that's the only time you ever saw a child there?
That was the only time I saw a child I didn't recognize.
Okay, so you had seen other children there before?
Yes.
Okay, when you say that you recognize, these are who exactly?
My nieces.
And when you first arrived at the shop that day, Jarvis told you that he wasn't going to be able to work on your car?
No.
No? Did you ask him if he'd be
See, she needed some work done on her car. That's why she even went there.
able to?
Judge, I think this calls for hearsay. They can't admit statements of the defendant.
I'm looking more so for her own statement, actually.
For her
We'll
what?
start with her own statement.
Okay.
Did you ask him right away if he would be able to work on your car?
I talked to him prior to.
That's a good question, Demetria, because a lot of people feel that, oh, because there's no body, possibly he could get away with this, but it depends on what evidence they have. With this situation, well, not this particular, there's many situations where the police do not have the body, but they're still able to convict the person because they have some kind of evidence that could, connects them to that they did X, Y, and Z through testimony, interviews, evidence. So they could have something to where they'll drop it in the actual trial. Because again, I know a lot of people were confused by everybody's testimonies and what's going on. This is the preliminary to see if they could even take it to trial. That's what this was in January. It was the preliminary to see if they could take it to trial. The judge, which, I mean, more or less, I thought she was going to take it to trial, which she did. She did take it to trial. Thank God she decided to take it to trial. But you do not need a body to convict somebody. Circumstantial evidence, yes, purely plush, exactly. And pretty much we know that she was there the day of. Let's go over some key things. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video. Okay, let's go over a few things. They were texting the day of. But not only that, in his search history, he was looking up how to do a smorgasbord, right? And hopefully y'all know what a smorgasbord is. Figure it out. They're trying to do a smorgasbord. We know that when she got off the bus, she ended up walking towards where the shop would be to, go and be with him. We know that the sister seen her. We know that they went to that dusty motel, wherever that is. We also know that the glasses were found in the girlfriend's car that he borrowed, the clear glasses that Neziah was wearing in that one picture. We know it was found in the car. We also know that Jarvis has been in and out the home. We have testimony from the little girl that said, yeah, I seen him naked and Neziah was sitting on his lap. All the text messages that indicate that they had some kind of sexual relationship with each other. Like, there's so much that it would be hard to say, oh, no, there's no call. No, he was just a creep. He wouldn't have did. Nah. It's right in front of our face. Like, we know it. I think, honestly, to tell you the truth, finding Neziah is more of a closure thing. And I know this might be controversial. They don't need to find Neziah to convict him. Finding Neziah is more of a closure thing than actually needing to convict him. I think one of the sad parts, depending on what kind of condition Neziah is in, it might be hard for people to grapple with. Because again, if they went to that hotel to try to perform a smorgasbord, no telling what went down. No telling. It's a very hard pill to swallow. Like, I get why Roxy and Marc, even though people might have their opinions about them, I get why they're all like, yeah, it's done. It's done. I think also trying to get a confession from Shannon and the family, they're not going to give us one. They already said F you without saying it. They don't give a damn. They don't care. They're like, well, whatever. Get over it. That's their attitude. Get over it. There is no way in hell that somebody in my family would be missing and I'm not looking for them every day trying to get answers and figure out what's going on. There would never be a day where that would be okay. One of my nieces and nephews go missing. Listen, my whole channel is going to be dedicated to trying to find them. And also too, I think Roxy and Marc feel bad for the way this has turned out on the internet. Because remember, there was like this, what was the girl named Kiki or Mimi who said she was burning evidence? Like, it was some kind of troll on the internet that was saying she was burning evidence, or she broke into the shop so she could burn stuff. Like, there has been people literally clout chasing off of this. It's just the same way with the Shanquella Robinson. There's people who clout chase off of tragedies. I mean, there's no other way to put it, y'all. That's what they do. They do not care. If I can get some kind of clout or some kind of attention, or I can say I'm connected to the story so I can get a check. Because I would also like to know, these people who be doing interviews, are they asking for money? Which we know the brother, remember the older brother was asking for money. Are they asking for money, or have they been paid? This is already a criminal case. Why do you need money for this case? Like, why does anybody need money? It's very weird. Now, if you're going to hire like an independent investigator or something like that, okay, I get it. I can see why you would need donations, but please tell us that. But why does anybody in the family need money directly? Why does anybody need money directly? That's what I don't understand. And granted, the two people, Kiwana and Jarnell, they've never asked for money. They never had a GoFundMe or asked for money. So I'm not talking about them. But there's a lot of other people who are connected or claim to be connected asking for money. One of them you already know was the older brother asking for money. Disgusting. Now I understand, because my cousin doesn't like my mom, and when me and my sister was placed in the home, me and my sister almost fought my cousin because they looked at us. Trinice. A lot of people. A lot of people didn't understand what I meant. Like, hey, some family don't see you as family. They see you as the other. Like, they know you family because of quote unquote blood, but they don't see you as one of them. And that's Nazia's story. They didn't see her as one of them. The mom was, the dad wasn't in her life. The mom was on, on substances, allegedly. So, yeah, the mom's a screw up. The dad's a screw up in their eyes. Oh, this girl is whoever. We don't care. I agree with you in a way, Linda, but I don't agree. And the reason why is because now this is just speculation. I'm just going to say this is speculation. Jeanette, yeah, this is just my speculation. I don't think that the body would be found, is going to be found in one piece. Again, speculation. I don't think the body is going to be found in one piece. I just don't. And so that would make it harder. And especially because they did not arrest Jarvis until 9 months later. So 9 months, again, I don't believe the body is in Detroit. And 2, I don't believe that it's going to be in one piece. And again, this is just speculation. This is just what I'm assuming. I don't think it's going to be in one piece. Tiffany, that I do believe that the business partner knows more. I believe that the business partner knows a lot more than what he was saying. Just like I said, the only person that showed emotion was Jarvis's actual sister. Everybody else just seemed nonchalant, like, yeah, it's whatever. I don't care. Danny, that's how I feel. I don't think it's going to be in one piece. To be honest, I truly think he did not kill Shannon. Kill her. Shannon did a homemade. Exactly. And again, this is why I said I believe this is a situation where they had 9 months to make sure that they cleaned shit up. She went missing January. He didn't get arrested until September. It wasn't all like he got arrested within a couple of weeks. So that's a long time. And the body can start decomposing within weeks. But where they found the clothes, they did not find a body. And then there's even some discrepancies on like what she was wearing versus what they found. I still would like more clarification on that. So again, there's a lot of questions, but again, the answers I feel like a lot of the answers and the stuff that we've been waiting for, we're going to get those once the trial starts. Again, the trial starts in March. In January, that was the preliminary, just to see if it can go to trial. Katorbe, you believe water? Grandma Joy, when they did their investigation, they found out that there were 2 other victims. That's how. There was a 4-year-old and a 13-year-old. They're still alive, but they found out through his history, landfill, possibly. Oh, thank you, Zaina, for asking that. So remember when they were saying that she was marked present, right? The next day, she was marked present for one period. It wasn't the whole day. I forgot what period it was, but it was one of the periods where they marked her present, but she actually wasn't. Right. Oh yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, we listened to it too. Yeah, it was disturbing. I fell on my chin when I was at. Yeah, and the crazy part is that CPS can easily be called on certain people, but it seems like dire situations they don't get called, and you just all or they don't come or do anything. You're like, what the hell is going on? Possibly, he was the mechanic. Possibility, exactly. Possibly, but I wouldn't put it past them. I definitely wouldn't put it past them to be, a smurr. I wouldn't put it past them because the picture she last took, she definitely totally different from what they found. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. In Florida, it's the same situation. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yeah, Ayana. Yep. Never found her body. She was taken to a dump, but couldn't locate anything from the rubbish. Yeah, definitely. And like I said, when I said I don't believe there will be a body all in one piece, that's speculative. That has not been confirmed. But the reason why I'm saying that is because, with everyone saying, like, hey, it's basically over with, like, stop looking, that lets me know, like, okay, either they could have found something, but also there's probably no body. And like I said, you can still charge someone without having the body, the circumstantial evidence. Oh, yeah. See, yeah, CPS can be called on a lie too. And then, yeah, you're right. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate that. Now, I wonder this too. Did they confirm that she was pregnant? Because wouldn't it technically be a double homicide if she was pregnant? Y'all remember Lacey Peterson? Now that happened here. I used to live in Modesto. Lacey Peterson, she was a school teacher. Oh, and please, can we hit that like button? Yeah. Oh, Shawnee, you say yeah? Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But again, they don't have the body, so they would be unable to know. They would be unable to know that. So, oh, they have to have them laws in Detroit. Okay, I guess it depends on where they have the law. But I know with Scott Peterson and Lacey Peterson, he was charged for both because she was pregnant. And she was towards the end, where this, depending on the time period of when they acknowledge it could be different, Medical records, yeah. But that's the thing too, Chocolate. Like they try to keep her. Like she did in the text message. It did say that she went the month prior, and that was in September of 2023. And she said that she missed her period. It hadn't had came, and so then it never was repeated if whether or not she went to the doctor. And then I also think about this too. Now, this is speculation. What if she was just saying that she was pregnant just so that he can come back around? Because remember, in her text messages, she was saying stuff like, I don't want to lose you. You've been distant towards me. She was saying those kind of things. What if she was saying she was pregnant just so that he could come back around again? I never shared that with you, but I just had been thinking about it. Because remember, the situation that she was in, her family didn't love her. The love that she was getting from Jarvis was the only real love that she knew. And yeah, I did see like a bulge in her belly. I did see that. It was hard to tell because she was wearing a jacket as well too. So I could kind of go both ways, whether or not, okay, maybe it was the jacket or maybe she was. It would be hard to tell. Okay, y'all think she? Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of went with she was pregnant. I was just throwing that out there. I don't know. And so basically, what I'm getting at, you guys, is that he could have been afraid, and so he tried to unalive her, and then that's how we got in this situation. And also don't forget Shannon also in that little video snip where she said, yeah, I had her take a pregnancy test, and there was one line and there was another line, but the second line was like faded. So she tried to find an out with that. But more than likely, if the second line was faded, she was pregnant, because it only shows one line if you're negative. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to look at it. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you so much. Please keep Naziah in your prayers. No matter what the situation is, I just hope that there's some justice. It will never be right because she's not here on this earth, but at least Jarvis will be in jail for life. That's what I'm hoping for. All right. I love y'all. Be safe. Deuces, everybody. We out.